Hello and welcome to the Growing Green podcast. Your host, Jeremiah Jennings, is the owner of Growing Green Landscapes in Birmingham, Alabama, and has a passion for growing the entrepreneurship community for those who are young in business. Being a business owner isn't easy, especially in the early years, and that's why in this show we dive into a wide range of topics covering all the challenges small business owners deal with. Even if your company is generating $1 million or more, the stories from our great guest and Jeremiah's own firsthand experiences will propel your business forward. And now, here's your host, Jeremiah Jennings.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in to an episode today here on the Growing Green podcast. This is your host, Jeremiah Jennings, and I am super excited to come to you today with another fresh new episode for your Wednesday. Hope you guys are doing well. Hope you're crushing the week. If you're out there midweek listening real time, that you are getting after it. I know that this time of year is kind of coming through the dog days of summer, maybe. Everybody feels it. It hits them a little bit different every year. For me, we've actually somewhat avoided it this year. We might get into some of that today. I want to talk about a few things today on today's show. But first off, I just want to say thank you for tuning in and supporting us. We've had some great new reviews come into the show the last couple of weeks, which has been awesome. We talk about that is how we social proof the show. That's how we get people in here and get people to trust us and come along and just follow us and grow their business, grow their life the same way that we're trying to do, and all of you that have listened to the show for a while. It's how we bring new people in. And so I do want to take just a second and read a couple of these new reviews if y'all have time. Great podcast. Lemire Landscapes said, Jeremiah's a great show, always something new and informative. Marriage Mondays are great also. The back and forth between them is hilarious. 5 stars. Love that. That is so true. I'm glad that you say we have a great show. That means the world. But the second part of that is the most true. The back and forth between Savannah and I is real. He's not lying about that, but we love it. This past week's show was really good. Really enjoyed doing that with Savannah. I got some really good content, really good conversations in that show as well. It's The Price You Pay Part 2, right? I truly enjoyed doing that. Probably one of my favorite shows we've done together. So that was a fun one. If you missed that one, go back and listen to that one and the one before that because they kind of go hand in hand in a sense. A little bit different, but the same title there. Great podcast, 5 stars, full of value and insight from Hanson's Lawn Care. Appreciate that. That means that was 2 back-to-back days, which means, hey, the stuff we're putting out is working for some people, and that is what matters, right? Young Bob said, awesome show, great Jules, thanks for investing in our growth. That also means the world as well. It couldn't be more true that we're trying to invest in your business, right? That's what this show is. That's what the time is that we take to put into it. It's the time that we take to record it, produce it, put it out, come up with the ideas, get the guests on, and the guests are doing the same thing, right? Like that's the kind of high quality people that I want to have on this show are the ones that are truly trying to give to you and your business, help your business succeed and grow. Because if they're not there to do that, then I don't really want them on the show. And so that's kind of where we're at. That's where my heart is. That's where almost every guest that we have heart is. We try to social proof them as well if we don't know them. But then at the same time, if we do, and I'm hanging out with them, then they probably have pretty decent character because I'm not going to hang around people that are not trying to build up and they're trying to tear down. That's not the people that I'm going to spend my time with. So welcome to the show. Little rundown there, quick second for reviews and say thank you to that. Thank you for just supporting us and helping us grow because it does mean the world to us. But today's show, what do we want to get into? Why are we here on a Wednesday? Why are we up early on a Wednesday? In the office early, hitting it, ready to go. It's because the famous words Christmas lights are on my mind today. It has been a topic of conversation the last couple of weeks. We've done a link live, Brian's Facebook group link. If you have not heard of that, you can go over to launchpointacademy.com. Find out some more on that. You can search Launch Point Academy link on Facebook, and it's a private Facebook group. You can request to join that and get in there. But that we had a time on there, an interview hour. We went an hour and a half, I think, on that show, talking all things Christmas lights, right? We had really, really good in-depth conversation on it. Hopefully some of you guys will translate over to the podcast today from that and hear some more info, some more things that we didn't get into that night that we're going to talk through today. And we also did a roundtable personally. Had a couple guys in there. We went deep diving into how we can personally help them, how they can get started. So that's kind of the hot topic right now. And you say Christmas lights, dude, it's September. It's not even September, it's August. Well, we're coming up on it really fast, and you got to be one season ahead, right? So, like, fall cleanups are the next thing right ahead of you, but you should already be looking out to Christmas lights because, truthfully, if you've been installing lights, if this isn't your first season, then you're most likely going to be starting beginning to mid-October because you're going to be trying to get your rehangs done so you have all of November and December free for new customers to come in. And so if you're new to it, you've never done it, well then, yeah, you're just trying to get anybody in the door. But that's still, you got to get ahead of it. You don't want to get late because people around you will start putting stuff out. People in our area have already started putting out signs. One dude copied my sign exactly from last year, which is kind of frustrating, but it is what it is, right? It's the competition that's out there. It's why you have to get on yours and not get left behind. So what I want to talk about today is just all things Christmas lights. What is it? What is the hype behind it? Hopefully this show applies to anyone and everyone, right? The one that has never done a Christmas light before and the one that has done Christmas lights for multiple years now. So what are Christmas lights, right? What is it? What's the hype? So the installation of Christmas lights have really gotten popular in the last couple years. It's hit the social media world at least. There's been people that have installed lights for a good long while, all the way back to like the early 2000s, late 90s. But social media world has kind of taken it. It's gotten into mainstream media. It's becoming more and more popular every single year, which means it's also becoming more and more competitive, right? And so what it is you custom cut Christmas lights to your customer's home. So you go to Home Depot, you buy a strand of lights, right? Those are not custom cut. They're cut in 50-foot lengths. You cannot edit them. You cannot customize them. You can't do anything with them. Like if you have a 30-foot section, there's a gap, and then another 15-foot section, and you have a 50-foot strand of lights, well, you're going to have a 5-foot strand in that gap that's just hanging there. This is the problem with those kind of lights. You can't customize them. You can't cut the gaps out. You can't make it clean. They're just going to be hanging off the end of the house. If you only have 75 foot you need for gutters, but you have a 100-foot strand of lights, well, you're going to have 25 foot hanging down the side of the house, just like tucked up against the gutter or something, always on. And so that's what we want to avoid. When it comes to professional Christmas light installation, that's what you want to avoid. And so when you hear this and you're like, why can we not just go to Home Depot and get them? That's why. So got popular in the last couple of years on social media. Custom cut lights. I'll go ahead and just plug first thing. This is a free plug to them. I'm not getting any kickback from this. So it's just like, this is my true honest feedback and who I think that what has worked for me. There are multiple different suppliers out there that you can use for Christmas lights, right? There's a bunch of online stuff. You can get them in person at like Site One. Ewing Irrigation usually has them. You can get them at a lot of different places. For me, I have found the best product at the best pricing, at the best shipping to be from Contractor Light USA or Christmas Light Contractor USA, I think. I should have done that before. Yes, Christmas Light Contractor USA. So go to that website. You can get just about anything you need there for lights, and you can get it at a good price. Now, the more comfortable you get with it, the more familiar you get with it, you can find them. You can search individuals on different websites and things. You can get some stuff on Amazon and find stuff cheaper. But as a general basis starting line, like you're only going to save a few bucks. So it really only matters if you're ordering in big quantities. But as a general starter, that's where I would spend my time shopping to get started to get my first order put in. Now, Christmas Light Warehouse, that's another great website as well. I know there's a couple different ones that I don't know. They leave my brain right now, unfortunately. But again, these are just like free mentions. So go to either two of those. They have great stuff there. great shipping. You also say, why do you talk about this right now, right? Why are you talking about your wholesaler right now? That doesn't matter. We're 2.5 months away. It matters. You need to get your order placed soon. Christmas Light Contractor has some really good sales going on their lights. They have a markdown, a good chunk from what they will be during the season. So you can take advantage on that. Also take advantage on your shipping because this stuff will run out, right? They do run out of material when you get to the middle of November and everybody and their mother's installing lights. They're processing orders like day by day. Stuff's coming in, stuff's coming out. And so they get low on inventory, and you might click on something, and it may be the one thing you need to do your biggest light install ever, and it could be out of stock. Now, again, the good thing is you have local suppliers, you have other places you can get it from, right? But if you can order it now and save the money, go ahead and order it now and just plan ahead. And so we ordered like $2,500 worth of material a couple weeks ago. It came in, sitting there ready to go right now. I got a couple thousand feet of spool, a couple thousand light bulbs, a bunch of clips, bunch of connectors, all this stuff that goes with it, timers, all that stuff. And so we are getting ahead of the game in that aspect, right? And so we talk about the distributor, the wholesaler, right? So that's where you can go to get your stuff. What do you need to buy? In my opinion, it's C9 bulbs all day long. I don't even touch a C7. So there are C7 and C9 bulbs in this world, right? C7 are a little smaller. They're not as reliable, in my opinion. Again, I've never really messed with them. It's the videos that I've seen, the people that I've heard talk about them. I'm not going to mess with a C7 bulb. It's C9 all the way, nothing less. C9 gives you the big bulb. It's very professional. It's bright. It just gives you an overall professional, clean, great-looking install. C9 bulbs, you buy bare wire, or not bare wire, you buy socket wire. So it's wire with all the sockets on there, and you just screw the bulbs in place, and then the lights hang on the gutters or the shingles. You custom cut them. You put in bare wire. So remember when I said if you have that 5-foot gap that you need to transition from one roof space to the other, you cut blank wire, and it's just straight wire with no sockets, no anything, and you can put male and female connectors on there, plug it in to each strand. You tuck that up somewhere, hide it, and then it's seamless looking. You never even know the transition is there. Those are your main components: clips, bulbs, socket wire, bare wire, and plugs, male and female plugs. Those are your, got to have those every install, no doubt about it, right? You also use your bare wire to get from your roof down to your plug on the main floor. So if you have your gutter right on the front porch and your plug's in the front porch, you run some bare wire, you plug it into your inline there, your sockets, you send it down the porch, and then you plug in, and you never know it's there. So that's the very, very basic install in 35 seconds. That's also a list of material you need in 35 seconds. But C9 bulbs all day long, that's the only way that I'll go. We personally are a warm white family. We are warm white all the time. If you request something different, then I will give you pricing on something different. But I'm not going to open the floor and say, hey, we'll install these colors if you want them. You have to come to me knowing you want to change those colors. Now, that may be to a fault of my own. I may be leaving money on the table or something. But in my mind, I'm trying to do this at scale in a couple years for sure. And keeping it warm white is simple. It's easy. And I'm happy to change it if they want to change for an added cost. But it's added labor. You have to think through, where's this peak bulb going to be? How is this pattern going to work? And so there's definitely time and material added there when you buy the colored bulbs and offer that to your customers. So make sure you're charging accordingly for that. Your basis, right? So your basic install is what we just talked about. All your material, where you get it from, how you get it, right? Okay, so let's talk about the actual install process really fast. The install process is you're going to go out to your property. You're going to, and we're working through backwards here because we're going to go process and then we're going to go customers. But you go out to the property. You have your measurements already made, right? We'll talk about that when we get to customers. But you're there to install. You can either pre-build or you can build on site, build your lights. And so building your lights means putting the bulbs and the clips on the strands. If you're a person that uses gutter clips only gutter clips, then I say pre-build everything, right? Pre-build everything ahead of time. If you if you're using gutter and shingle clips because you have a peak and you want them all to face out, then you can build on site if you want. I personally do that way. If you want to pre-build, you can. Just try to and just guess on how many shingle clips you're going to need versus gutter, where in the line you're going to need them. You can do that. It just may lead to you having to change a few out when you get to the property. But again, it's still maybe faster to change those out than to build it all on the property. So we may actually toy with doing some of that this year in our business as well. So that's the install. You build or you pre-build. You get there. You safety check, get everything out you need. We'll talk through safety in just a second. Start getting on the roof, start throwing lights up, right? And it's this is an in and out thing. You do not want to spend a lot of time there. You want to be safe. You don't want to be reckless, but you want to get in. You want to get out. You don't want to spend a bunch of time there. You're getting paid by the foot, and so you also have to just like figure out your hourly rate, what you think is going to take you to install this many feet. Factor that into your pricing. And you want to hit that. You want to make profit. You want to go home at the end of the day saying this was worth it. And so that comes down to having timely installs. Cleanup is usually pretty easy. If you have them pre-built, there's not much cleanup at all. If you build on site, there is a decent amount of cleanup, but it's not bad. It's just like as you go, make sure you throw the bags for the bulbs away, things like that, your clips, things that break, stuff will happen, right? You'll have waste. But other than that, it's a pretty simple install process. You can put your lights down in a 55-gallon trash can if you want to, with a big round open lid. And you can take that and just kind of set it around the beds, around the front of the house, wherever you're at working. That will keep your lights from being hung on the ground, get hung up in the bushes, right? You just take that barrel and walk it with you as you go, and it's going to help you get a straight line up out of that barrel up to your roof. So that is just a little tip there to help you with that. Let's go back to getting the customer, right? How do you get customers? Well, you are going to get customers very similar to the way you get lawn care customers. If you have a current client list, if you're a lawn and landscape company, that's where I would go first. Just blast an email. Hey, we're offering Christmas lights, this professional Christmas light installation this year. This is a great service we want to take care of you with. We can install them for your house. If you like a quote today, just let me know. We can get you a quote put together, right? Something very simple. Include a picture in the email of maybe someone, like there's some stock photos on the internet that you can use. And so go out and find one of those and at least throw it in your email with the first one, right? I'm not a fan of stealing people's pictures if you're doing like advertising or something like that, but direct to client like that, you just want to stick a picture in there. I mean, be careful with it, but still, I think it is, there's people that would allow it, right? If you need a picture, DM me, I'll get you a picture, right, of one of ours that you can use in your installs. But anyway, include that in your customer email, send it, shoot it out, right? There's your 100 clients that you just shot an email to, potentially 100 leads. Or it is 100 leads, potentially 100 client signups. You can go to Facebook, right? Facebook ads do great for Christmas lights usually. This is one space that I will like back Facebook ads a lot if they're done properly. I've got a company that I worked with last year on lights. They did amazing for us. We were gathering multiple leads a day and closing a good percent of them. So that was great for us. Get set up with the right format and things with Christmas lights. You want to start running them early, and you want to see what works. You want to see what people are clicking on, what they like, what formats they like, and take those and run with them. Edit, fine tune, and pump some ad spend into them, because like you got to remember, guys. Your average house is going to be between $600 and $1,000 if you're on the low end. Like if you're on the low end, you're going to be $600 to $1,000. So you want to make sure that you're spending the appropriate amount in Facebook advertising, because if you spend $3,000 in 3 months on advertising, that's really only 3 houses that you have to do to recoup that overhead or to recoup that cost, right? And it's not. I say that. We can go so much deeper in numbers here. I'm just talking high level. You're not going to actually recoup that in profit, right? You're not going to do 3 houses for $1,000 and walk away with $3,000 profit. You got material in there. I'm talking overall revenue. You're going to produce $3,000 on 3 houses. You're going to spend $3,000 on Facebook ads. So you're going to, in revenue alone, you're going to make that back. Now, with a few more houses, you're going to make that back with profit, and then you'll be good to go. I'm not getting into all that math today. We're talking high-level stuff. Just trying the ins and the outs, the ups and the downs of trying to get in it. These are good tips and tricks to follow. Facebook ads are good. Facebook posting, organic Facebook posting is good. We actually just posted in our local Facebook group this past week, posted one time, and we have 6 leads right now that we're trying to close, and that was the first post of the year, and we're in middle of August, right? It's only going to increase. So start that today. Start that tomorrow. Whenever it is that you're allowed to post in your business, your what's happening groups, in your local groups there, make a post. Hey, we are honored to take care of you this year where we want to install your lights. We're offering this service. Again, get ChatGPT to write you something, 6 sentences, short paragraph, throw a picture in there. It's going to attract people. I do highly suggest you putting a picture in there. It's going to catch people's eyes more than just reading a text, right? So throw a picture in there, and you're going to be getting customers. It's a lot easier to get leads for Christmas lights, I believe, than lawn care, but it is a very low close ratio. So you got to be prepared for that going in. Don't get burnt out when you send out 25 quotes and you only get 5 of them, because there's a chance that will happen. And so as you determine your, as Mark Bradley would call it, your ICP, your ideal customer profile, then you will target the right people and hopefully close more leads. But in the early days, you're just like, hey, bring anybody and everybody in. You're going to send out leads real fast, or you're going to send out estimates real fast. You might not get some. The first 2 years I did it sucked. I was sending out 15, 20 estimates a day and not getting one or two of them, right? And so if you're new to the market, there's no one around you doing it, you're going to have to educate people some so that you have that in front of you as well. If it's a competitive market and people see you and they see it all the time, they're familiar with it, then you're battling the pricing there, because are people going to price shop you? Are people out there undercutting you, installing for $3 a foot when they should be installing for $8 a foot? You got to look out for that too. So we talked material, we talked wholesaler, we talked material, we talked, I don't remember where we are now. Installation tips, getting your customers right. Let's go back to estimation now. Estimation of those customers when you get them, right? Or when you get the leads. So you want to be pumping out estimates left and right. You cannot go to every single house to put out an estimate. It's not possible. You can't do it. You'll waste way too much time. My solution to that is, once you do a couple estimates, your first couple, you may go to your house in your first couple to get measurements of the actual roof line. If you've never measured a roof line, you're not familiar with it at all, you have no way to gauge, oh, that's 8 foot, that's 6 foot, right? You may measure your first couple. You can try to do it on Google Earth. If you can get a front image of the house, then you can potentially measure the roof line, but sometimes you can't. And so if you can't do that, you have to get out in person and measure the house, the roof line there. Once you have 5 or 10 under your belt, you're going to be able to look at a picture of the front of the house and say, yeah, that peak is 8 foot, that runs 10 foot, this is a 16 foot, right? And so you gotta learn that. In my opinion, you just have to learn it. You have to get good at it, because that's how you streamline estimates. I can look at a picture, say that's 8, that's 6, that's 15, and you're going to realize a trend. Builders in your area, neighborhoods, they're going to be similar, right? They're going to have similar home styles. They're going to be similar lengths. A lot of our peaks here are 8, 12 peaks, like 8 foot and 12 foot peaks. And so that's kind of standard here for us. And so that I'm able to kind of run with that and go. You also want to make sure that you're adding some fluff in there when you're doing it that way, because you are going to potentially miss something. You may be a couple feet short. So I always add 10 to 15% on my measurements. So if I measure 75 foot of roof line, I'm going to add 10 to it probably. What would the math of that would be? 7.5 foot. But I'm going to add 10 foot to it to be safe. And so you're talking $60 on your whole process, right? If you're installing $6 a foot, you add 10 to it, you're talking $60. If you're quoting a $720 install, $60 isn't going to make or break the install price, right? Like, I've had this conversation in landscaping. If you're quoting a $7,000 install and you bump the price to $7,400, that $400 isn't going to make them not spend the money. If they're going to spend $7,000, they're going to spend $7,400. At least that's what I've seen in my business, right? And so that maybe they'll get somebody that is $7,200. So they may want to save that $200, but if you sell yourself the right way in your company, that $200 isn't going to matter. There's a threshold here of like, when you cross that line of we're spending this much, another couple hundred doesn't matter. If you're spending $720 and you add 60 to it, that 780, they're usually still going to spend. If they're going to spend 720, they're going to spend 780. Bump that price up there, add your fluff, add some profit to you. If you don't need it, if you do need it, then you're covering it, right? So that's the estimation side. I always shoot estimates. You want to get estimates as quick as possible if you're in a competitive market. They will have most of the time that we found last year, people will come in and they'll have estimates within 30 minutes, an hour. And if you don't get that, you will not get the job because they're going to say yes to usually the first person they can trust and have a decent price. So for us, it's cranking estimates out left and right. For those 3 months, it's like all things drop when a light lead comes in, and I can usually have an estimate sent out in about 5 minutes. And that is why I'm going to get an LMN this year, and we're going to have a template built, and it's going to say our scope of work, everything in there. All I'm going to have to do is come in, plug in the per foot pricing on how much it's going to take, and put the customer info in and press send. So that's the power of having a powerful software as LMN. You can build templates. You can build all kinds of things that store all your info. So when you go to make an estimate, you can streamline your estimation process. That's been one of the huge things for me using LMN is like our estimates have gotten so much faster and so much more effective and efficient, right? They're much more detailed. They have down to the dollar, to the penny, what we need to make on them. And that's what I love about LMN, one of the huge things there. So if you are interested in that, reach out and let me know. I'll give you some more information on LMN and help you get signed up and get you a really, really good onboard process. But anyway, little LMN plug there. My voice is going this morning. I've had 2 voice cracks. Welcome to, I guess, adulting. 24 years old, your voice still cracks. It's part of it. Maybe when I get old, like some other of you out there, get to that 30, 40 range, it'll stop cracking. But anyway, I'm just having fun, guys. Just having fun. Talking about estimation there, that's where we're at with estimation. I think I want to wrap the show up, short show today. Just a quick little high-low, in and out. What is Christmas lights? What is the process to it? I think this gives you a broad overall view of it and done a pretty good job of like, hey, this is what we need. This is the things we need to follow. Much, much more detail involved than what we've gone through today, but this at least should get you started. Safety. Safety is number one. Safety is number one. Safety is number one. You're on 12 pitches. Those things are steep, hard to walk on. You should probably have something to hang on to, right? Whether that be a harness. Some people buy roofing harnesses, and you nail that harness into the top of the ridge line. Some people do it that way. Some people have a Ridge Pro, I believe is what it's called. It's a hook that goes up to the ridge, and you harness onto that. That is what if I was doing the harness route, that's what I would probably use. Seems like a much more efficient way than having to nail into the ridge line there. The ones that are non-negotiables, though, are Cougar Paws. Cougar Paws are a form of boot that have a foam padding on the bottom. I highly recommend you getting those. They help you walk, get much better traction on the roof than anything. I know a lot of guys say they just love flat tennis shoes with good grip on the bottom. That's good for you. No, I'm not doing it. I'm not risking it, right? Especially not anything steep. Cougar Paws make me feel very, very safe up there. Cougar Paws are non-negotiable. Pitch hoppers are non-negotiable, so it's a little wedge with a foam bottom on that. Pitch hoppers are non-negotiable as well. And then the goat. So the goat is a little hook that goes up and hangs onto your peaks, and you can climb up that. And so it's got 8 foot, 12 foot, 15-foot extensions. I don't know. I don't remember how long it gets, but it's not cheap. It's pricey, but again, you putting a price on your safety, right, in the life of you and your guys. So it streamlines everything. We're probably going to pick up a goat this year, and hopefully it's going to make our lives much, much easier than having to hang on to the side and climb up and pitch hoppers and all the other stuff. So we're going to grab us a goat. I think they're like $700, but again, what's the price on your safety and how much more efficient is going to make you, how much more quickly you're going to be able to get jobs done and get them done safer. So those are really the basic safety needs. Cougar Paws, pitch hoppers, the goat, the Ridge Pro, or a harness. That's your safety stuff. If you want to get really, really into the nitty-gritty and efficiencies, fishing vests, like a tackle vest, are handy to wear. You can put your clips, your extra line, your plugs, your pliers, all that stuff down in there in all the different pockets, and you have them easily accessible. You don't want anything in your pants pockets when you're on the roof. You don't have to wedge around because you don't know where you're going to be positioned. Have everything on your chest, on your person, that you can try to get up on you, where you can just reach in, grab it, and get back to work. Maybe if you have one hand holding on to something, you can get your other hand in there and get it out real easy and still use both to work through putting a plug in or something like that. But fishing tackle vests are good. Definitely want some electrical strippers, cutters, things like that. You want to be able to cut through your line real easy there. As far as the installation process goes, it's really easy, guys. Really, really, really easy. We might do a YouTube video on it here soon to kind of just walk through how we do things. But I think that gives you a good overall idea of Christmas lights and kind of the benefit to it. There's a lot of money to be made. We didn't talk pricing much today. Pricing it varies in your area. We're not going to really dive into it today. If you want to talk pricing, hit me up and we can do another roundtable talking that stuff. I know a couple guys that we wanted to get in it, couldn't get in it because they had things going on. So if you're interested in that, shoot me a DM. We'll do another roundtable, and it's an hour of your time, $50, and we'll talk through all the things pricing, the rental versus the owning method, like all that stuff. We'll dive into it. It's just too in-depth of a conversation to have on today's show. We'd be here for another hour and a half, and it wouldn't apply to everyone, right? You got to do what works for your business, and so finding where you're at, having those in-depth conversations, that's the value in it. So that's going to wrap this one up, guys. Thank you for tuning in. I truly appreciate it. Hope you got value out of it. Christmas lights are fun. Ton of money to be made in it. You can make 6 figures in 3 months, no problem at all. Like, it's very, very, very doable. And it's also a way to keep your guys busy and keep them on staff through the winter to help you be prepped and ready to go for spring as well when you're back landscaping. If you're not doing snow, this is a great, great source of revenue. So leave us a big 5-star rating review like the other folks did if you are interested in it. That helps us. It says we're still at 97. I don't know how we're at 97 because we've been at 97 forever. But it says we're still at 97 on Apple. Leave us a big 5-star rating review. Let's get us to 100 here soon, and that would mean the world to me and Savannah as we host the show together on Mondays, and then myself the rest of the week. Thank you to all the great guests that come on and join with us when you do. It means the world to have you on as well and have you giving to our audience. So thank you for tuning in, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Go out and crush the rest of the week. We'll catch up with you here on Friday. But without any further ado, that's going to wrap this one up, and we look forward to catching up with everybody here on the next one.
Thanks for tuning in to the Growing Green podcast. It is an honor to have you listening, and we hope you receive valuable advice to help take your business to the next level. Don't forget to follow the podcast so you'll be notified when our next episode drops.